My mama always said, M. Night Shyamalan films are like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're gonna get. Well, you know what you'll get in terms of story and style. It's the quality control that's more of a Russian roulette. The spectrum of his filmography is wild, at least to me, featuring all-time favourites like Unbreakable and some of the worst mainstream twaddle I've ever endured.
What? No!
The quality basically fluctuates up and down, movie by movie, like he's always hungry for that next news piece stating, M. Night's on a comeback, again. So I approached Knock at the Cabin cautiously. Interesting premise, set almost entirely in a single location, which is my jam. Based on an acclaimed book, that's normally a plus. Starring Dave Bautista, an actor who has built up an unexpected career brimming with notable movies. And who's this red-headed, scruffy-looking punk?
You must be a Weasley.
Once I started the film, I was worried when it opened with a girl telling a grasshopper not to pass wind as his jar mates won't tolerate the sniff. It snapped me right back in though, with the very sudden arrival of Davy B, ominously approaching the vulnerable child. This very early scene starts a feature-length game of mistrust and suspicion. This girl and her family are held hostage by Dave and his curious assortment of friends. Niceness and hostility constantly wrestle on a seesaw. They do seem genuine, but at the same time, they've forced their way in, they've got spooky weapons, and they're asking the family to commit an impossible task, hinting at worldwide consequences if they fail to comply. I'm being purposefully vague, in case anyone watching has been living under a rock or inside a fartless jar. Like many of the director's previous works, Knock at the Cabin hinges on a late-stage revelation or twist. In this case, it's a matter of whether these four horsemen are legitimate or not. It is a very simple story in that sense, which is a breath of fresh air in this age of convoluted multiverses and bloated runtimes. There's enough crumbs to keep you guessing in either direction, as the mystery paces along. As such, I had a pretty good time with it. It sits comfortably in an above-average rank among M. Night's films. It doesn't touch his early standouts, but flies high above the dredges of his career. The closest film I can compare it to right now is 10 Cloverfield Lane. So, if you're a fan of that kind of paranoid, claustrophobic guessing game, absolutely seek out Knock at the Cabin.